Hey guys, today we're gonna talk about hating Japan. Yes, it's Tokyo Tuesday, but we're gonna forego the intro today because I really want to focus on the message in this one. We've all met the Japan complainers. Maybe they've been here too long, maybe it's their personality, but whether it's online or face to face, pretty much every single thing that comes out of their mouth about Japan is just filled with negativity. The worst part is they may have never intended to be like that, but the negativity is dangerously contagious, and whether it be through their own experiences or just from hearing it from others, it's how they've become. It's an easy trap to fall prey to, especially if you don't see it coming, so please just hear me out to the end on this one. So I want to start by addressing those of you who are already living in Japan. It's important to remember that you are lucky. You may have put an unbelievable amount of work just into getting to Japan. I know that I did. It wasn't an overnight easy thing for me, and it probably wasn't for you either. But I want you to stop and think for a second that if you were lucky enough to be able to put in all of that work, you're already ahead of so many who can't. So many who might be bedridden or homeridden, who have some disease or some kind of life responsibility that's stopping them from doing so. And if you were not only lucky enough to be able to do the work that it took you to get here, but also get here, you're ahead of so many more. You really have won the lottery, and it doesn't mean that you can't complain or get upset about things, but it means that you do need to have things in perspective. Like, just think of how lucky you are to be healthy enough, both physically and mentally, just to be able to do the work that it takes to get yourself to Japan. So many people out there can't. So many people watching this right now might be like, yeah, that's me, I can't. In fact, that's one of the biggest reasons that I do this vlog. It's because there are so many people out there who may never be lucky enough to make it to Japan, and I'm fortunate enough that my hard work paid off and that I can share this. It's all too easy to get really comfortable after a couple years here in Japan and forget that you are luckier than so many people out there who just can't ever get here. It's all about perspective. Okay, so I want to tie in a quick anecdote here. I want to tell you a story about my childhood best friend, somebody I've been friends with since we were like 5 years old. Nearly a decade ago, he failed to get into university in Canada several times and thought, you know what, maybe I'll be able to come out to Japan and get into university. He applied and he got in. So excited to have him in Japan. Of course, we spent so much time together. And one of the first things that he said after arriving in Japan was, you know, there are a lot of foreigners here, and it kind of makes me feel less special than I thought I would. In retrospect, it was a huge red flag. It actually kind of bothered me at the time, but I let it slide, you know, best friends since childhood and all that. But it was an indicator. It was an indicator of where his life was headed. But over the years, it kind of developed into a bit of a pattern. You see, he jumped from girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend, no relationship lasting of any significant length, which is fine. And, you know, some of us have been there, but it kind of came down to one thing, and it's that first impressions are easy, but they wear off. We've all met that person who makes a fantastic first impression, but after spending any length of time with them, they start to kind of reveal their true colors. If you're struggling back home, there's a pretty good chance you're going to struggle here too. It doesn't mean don't come, it just means be aware of that. And on that note, let's talk about another insanely important point, which is your circle. The people you surround yourself with, whether it be in real life or online. So I'm pretty sure we all know where I'm heading with this one, so I'm just going to say that the people that you surround yourself with, the people around you, or the people that you follow or communicate with online are a very, very strong indication of either A, your mindset, or B, where your life is heading. We all have one or two friends that are just a little bit too negative in that way, or we all follow one or two people, or maybe even more online, who just spout nothing but negativity, whether it be about Japan or whatever it is. But especially when we're talking about this topic, the topic of coming and living in Japan, that's one that I want to put out there, and we'll jump back to it later. Just look really closely at the people you're surrounding yourself with and the people that you are following online and the messages that they're putting out there. Now I'm going to sidebar here just for a few seconds and say that this holds true for me as well. I don't believe in putting things out there that I'm not willing to live myself. When I started this vlog about 10 months ago, I did so because I wanted to make a better life for myself, and at that time I decided to audit the people around me, both in real life and online. And that best friend from my childhood that we were talking about, somebody that I've known for well over 20 years, somebody that I traveled to this country with, is no longer in my life now, and he's not the only one. It was by far one of the most difficult and painful choices I've ever had to make in my life, but it's not even a year later and it's already positively impacted so much of my life and my outlook. Take a very serious look at the people around you. So we've talked about perspectives and expectations and the people around us, but I want to talk to you guys about one very dangerous double-edged sword. This idea of because Japan. Alright, so I tweeted this last week. It was a nice moment. I wanted to share it and get it out there. And of course, I got a few of those, well, of course, because Japan, or only in Japan type of comments. It's a dangerous game to play, and we don't realize it, but allow me to wrap it into a neat little bow. Allowing yourself to place the blame, either positive or negative, on a country, people, or culture is really setting yourself up for a fall. It comes back to expectations, like so many people say, oh, it's because Japan. And sometimes it is true, but more often than not, we are setting ourselves up for a fall. Like when you're away from home, especially when you're overseas and something bad happens to you, the impact of that is already greater than it usually would be. And if you've set yourself up with unrealistic expectations and then something bad happens, that fall is potentially doubled. The number of people that I have seen turn down for credit cards, apartments, this, that, the next thing, just to turn around and say, because of Japan. Like, yes, there are things that non-natives of the country will struggle to do, but that isn't just Japan, that holds true across the globe. So I want to say something that I want you guys to sit and think on for just a second. Blame plants the seeds that grow into hate. Like when something bad hits, especially when it hits hard, it's a natural human tendency to want to blame. But the second you place that blame on a country, culture, or person, you lose. You have set yourself down a path that has no positive outcomes for you at all. And the worst part is it becomes habitual. Like if you do it once, you will do it again and again and again. It becomes a habit. And in the end, it's really our habits that create who we are as people. Feels really quick today, but it really just comes down to the gratitude, the realistic expectations, the people that you surround yourself with, and not placing blame. After 10 plus years in Japan, those are the 4 things that stand out the most to me as to why these people end up hating Japan, and why people who originally didn't hate Japan fall into that trap. So the ask for today is, can we make this type of thinking the new normal? Seriously, can we please share this and build more people around us with this type of mindset? Like at the very least, we've all seen one of those videos that's hating on Japan and just spreads across the internet for all the wrong reasons. So can we make the gratitude, the realistic expectations surrounding ourselves with the right people and avoiding misplaced blame the new normal? Can we do this? I would love it if we could, but it starts with you. Maybe you're already on this path and that's fantastic, or maybe this video gave some value to you. In fact, maybe you completely disagree with everything that I said, and that's totally okay. I respect that. That's the beauty of this. But for today, can I ask that we please get some positive vibes going down below and share this. If there's anybody out there that you think that this video would hold any value for, because today we're talking about Japan, but realistically these things can hold true to anyone going anywhere across the globe. It's so easy to go to another country and fall prey to these things. This doesn't just apply to Japan. I'm talking about Japan because this is where I'm living, this is where I'm making my videos from. But can we get this out there, please? If you know somebody, anybody who you think this would help, please share it with them. Let's make this the new normal. Thank you guys so much for joining. See you again real soon. Hey guys, so I was just walking through the edit and realized that I look like really serious and intense through this entire video. Such was not the plan. I had actually recorded this once earlier on and all these different locations outside, but it was slightly distracting from the message. So I re-recorded it here so we could just focus. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for joining. I hope you have a beautiful day. Definitely leave me something below. Don't forget to give the like button a little bit of love. please share it, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.